All right, now let's talk about it, y'all. So interesting topic right here. We at Fox College Football. Teams in one top 25, but not in the other. Obviously, as y'all know, before the college football rankings come out in November, we go by the AP poll, and then from there we start going by the college football playoff top 25 poll. Now, very, very interesting that two teams are in the AP poll, two teams are not in the CFP, but these teams are in the CFP, not in the AP. Okay, now it's very interesting when you think about it. Now, the problem is on the left side, which I love Group of Five. I feel like Group of Five gets disrespected. One team is obviously going to get in. Some people feel like a Group of Five shouldn't even be in the playoff. I think they should. But what I'm going to say is these two teams are good teams this year. But the problem is haven't really played nobody. Now, James Madison did play Louisville. They lost by 14 points, 28-14. But the problem is for the rest of the year, James Madison hasn't really played nobody. Like, this is their schedule, right? They play, I believe that's Webb. Obviously, you have Louisville. We talked about the Louisville game. Liberty, Georgia Southern, Georgia State, the Raging Cajuns, Old Dominion, Texas State. You got App State, Washington State, and then obviously Coastal Carolina. None of these games help you, bro. Now, if you was able to upset Louisville, it would have helped you, right? Obviously, Louisville 7-3 this year. They were formerly ranked twice in the back-to-back weeks. They just lost back-to-back games, and now they've obviously got ranked out. That was your best chance. This schedule right here, and the Sun Belt's no good this year. So it's like that doesn't help you if you're James Madison. For people that say they deserve to be in, I feel y'all, but y'all haven't played nobody. So it does not help that you're, 9-1 right now. You can go 11-1, and it's like, well, who was your quality opponent that you beat? And it looks like strength of schedule is one of the main metrics that the committee is using in order, obviously, to, judge these teams. So it doesn't help you. Now, North Texas, another team I really like in the American Conference, right? And they've done their thing. They've beaten some quality opponents this year, I think. And I think their conference is very competitive, right? 9-1 in the year, one of the best offenses, I think, obviously, in the country. That doesn't get talked about enough. Medicine Maker is really good, man. He set records this year. He has 3,000 yards passing and 24 touchdowns to just 3 interceptions. Kid is an absolute stud. Now, when you look at their schedule, same sort of thing, but they got a little bit more quality on there, right? Obviously, they played Washington State. They beat them pretty good. The loss that hurts them, though, is USF. USF was supposed to be the team that comes out of the Group of Five, but they've suffered back-to-back losses, and they're really struggling right now. Just got bumped from the rankings again, right? They beat Navy. Navy's an underrated team. Now, obviously, Notre Dame thrashed them 49-10 when those two teams played, but a 31-17 win over Navy was really big for them, right? Now, if they could have beat USF, that would have helped them out even more, right? But that's a lone loss of the season, you know what I'm saying? In a thriller shootout that happened, I believe it was on a Friday night, right? So that really hurt them. But other than that, North Texas has played quality football, but it's going to be hard to get them in because, like I said, the schedule, all they played is Navy, and Navy's not ranked. Navy's a good team. Navy's been slept on this year, but how much does that help your resume? So that's the problem, like the strength of schedule. I like it. They deserve it. But that is how the committee is ranking. And like I said, y'all know I don't always agree with the committee. Now, you compare the other two teams, Illinois and obviously Arizona State. Now, Illinois hasn't been all that great this year, but they have a quality win over USC. Right now, we'll see how good the Trojans is. Trojans are ranked number 15 in this recent poll. They're even over some one-loss teams as well in the CFP poll. Tells you all you need to know. Now, they got a great quarterback in Luke Altmaier, but they've been up and down all season long. But that 34-32 win earlier in the season against USC, that's helping them right now, as y'all can see right here. Now, Duke, I'm not going to give them Duke because Duke is not a quality win, right? Because you can't sit there and say, okay, well, Duke's a quality win for Illinois and it's not a quality win for Georgia Tech, or it's not a quality win for this team. Great offense. Defense is not good for Duke. Love Darian Mensah. Love their ability to run the ball with Nate Shepard. Love Cooper Bacart. But this team, again, you can't have one quality win for somebody else. Now, what stains them is the terrible loss. They got mollywopped against Indiana this year, right? So that really hurts them in terms of helping them out. Indiana is the number 2 team in the country currently ranked right now. You know what I'm saying? So that really hurts them with that game not even being close. Now, that's really it, right? You've lost to other quality, like you've lost to Washington. Washington's been in and out of rankings all year, right? You lost pretty badly to Ohio State. It doesn't help you, right? If you could have made that game closer, made that a game. So you struggled in games that you're supposed to win. You struggled in games that you're supposed to do your thing and be really good this year, right? So for me, Illinois with the 3 losses, I don't think this is a schedule where they should even be ranked, in my humble opinion. They do have the quality win against USC, but who else? Western Michigan, Duke, like I said, we're not really counting that. Rutgers, Maryland, Purdue. You know what I'm saying? USC is your best win. shouldn't be ranked with 3 losses in my humble opinion. The conference to me is not strong enough for that. Just my opinion. Now you got Arizona State. Arizona State's a very interesting one to say the least, right? They've dealt with injuries in and out of the season. Obviously, their quarterback, Sam Leavitt, we've heard rumors and buzz about him a little bit, maybe potentially entertaining the idea of leaving. We'll see what happens there. When he's played, they've been good. When he's been in the lineup, they've been able to win big games, right? Having a decent season, 7-3 also so far on the year, right? Lost to some teams that they should have won against, but they have very quality wins. Now, here is their schedule. Lost to Mississippi State, a game you shouldn't have lost to, but that's when Mississippi State started the year 4-0. You could have won that. SC opponent would have helped you. Baylor. Obviously, Baylor's been up and down all year. We know about Sawyer Robertson, but hasn't been a really good football team. You beat TCU when they were ranked, but we know they're not that good of an opponent this year. You beat Utah pretty darn handily. Utah is ranked in the poll, 42-10. You lost to Utah, 42-10. Now, that's an ugly loss, right? Because you were on the road and you struggled mightily. You had no answers for Utah and the Utes. Terrible, terrible loss. But you got it back when you beat Texas Tech that following week at home, a big game that was obviously in Arizona State, right? Now, I didn't have Morton in that game, so that hurts you a little bit, but that's a very quality win against, obviously, Texas Tech. Then you lost to Houston. Houston's been up and down all year long. So it's really hard to say how good Houston really is because we don't know. They've lost to West Virginia 45-35. I don't know how good Houston is, but they do have the quality win against Texas Tech, who is number 5 right now currently in the country. So I think that's what's elevating them right now as well. So as you guys are seeing, quality wins. And I'm just saying that. I'm not saying I agree, y'all. I'm just saying this is how the committee looks at it. While both of these Group of 5 teams are great and I want to see them in, it's the quality of their schedule and who they've been able to beat so far, right? If they had more quality wins, I think it would help them in terms of CFP. So now it's going to go to in years, and these schedules come out 5-6 years in advance. You're going to have to start scheduling harder opponents. That's just the bottom line. That's what I get from the committee. When it comes down to it, I like James Madison. I think they should be ranked. I like Norfolk Tech. I think they should be ranked. But how it's coming down to when you're competing in battle against some of these teams that have 3 and 4 losses, I think it really comes down to these teams being able to play quality opponents and win, right? And sometimes you even get a little bit of a boost for playing a quality opponent and losing by a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's really the difference between these teams, and obviously the difference it's making for both. So it's an interesting, obviously, I don't want to say dilemma, but interesting, obviously, comparison between both, who should be in, who should not be in. But for Group of 5 teams, I say going forward, schedule you somebody. Schedule you an SEC. Schedule you a Big 12. Schedule you an ACC. Schedule somebody that year that's a competent opponent to help out your resume, because then you can kind of avoid this problem.